Hi, welcome to Ask Ellen. Real questions, real talk, real change. My name's Ellen. I'm a personal coach, and I like to help women get through the bumps and the hiccups in their lives so they can move on and have a happier life. Today I want to talk about something that I bet a lot of people experience, but maybe they just don't really recognize what's going on. Today we're talking about burnout. And I'm not talking about just I feel really tired after a long week of working. I'm talking about the kind of exhaustion that doesn't seem to go away. The kind that makes you feel like you want to stay in bed for a week, but you know you can't. So today we're going to talk about the 5 signs that maybe you're just a little too burned out. Let's get into it. The first sign that shows that you're probably a little burned out is that everything feels like a chore. Things that you normally do, like getting groceries or answering emails or making dinner or returning a phone call. These chores just seem almost impossible to do. They feel heavy. They feel like you just can't do it. You probably will do it and you probably will get through it, but doing it takes a lot more effort than it used to. None of those things can feel difficult on their own. After all, they're probably things you're doing on a daily basis. But when you're a little too burned out, they can be very overwhelming. It's not like any of these tasks are getting any harder. It's just that you're running on lowered energy. And when you're running on a lower energy, it's hard to put in all the effort that you need to, even if it is an easy thing. It's at this point we start thinking, what's wrong with us? I can't cope. I'm not doing enough. But the thing is, you are doing plenty. You just might be a little too burned out. Maybe you're just doing too much. The second sign that you should look out for that shows that maybe you might be a little burned out is that you start being irritated by everything. This kind of sneaks up on people, and it's kind of funny because it just happens. And then it will happen a little bit more often, and at some point you realize, wait, what am I doing? This isn't me. This isn't how I normally react. But somebody might ask you a question. Traffic might be a little bit more congested. Plans change, and you just snap at it. There's this irritation in you that you can feel, almost like it's a physical thing. It's so strange that this can happen, but it's because you just don't have the bandwidth to deal with it. And you don't have the bandwidth because you're burning out. You're doing too much. Your body is just a little too tired and it needs to rest. A lot of times this irritability isn't because someone really is bothering you, or that the weather was too warm or the weather was too cold. It's usually just a sign of your body telling you, you need to slow down. You need to calm down. Take a breath. Sit down. Stop doing something. Sometimes, because you are getting irritated at people or things, it keeps you away from it. It's your body's actual perfect reaction to keep you away so that maybe you can stop and be by yourself with no irritabilities, so that you can come back to ground zero instead of being so burned out. If you're feeling like you are just a little too irritable, that things are a hairline trigger for you, maybe take the time to just relax. Take a moment and look at what's happening. Are you really irritated about something happening that's going on? Or is it your body's beautiful way of telling you to just stop for a while and get a little calmness in your life? The third sign to show you that maybe you might be a little burned out is that things that you used to enjoy or things that you usually enjoy, they just don't feel enjoyable. Now, I'm not talking about depression here. People get depressed. People have depression in their lives. This isn't me diagnosing something and saying that depression isn't something serious. Depression is a real thing, but that's not what I'm talking about right now. I'm talking about the thing that it's not that you're depressed about it, but it's just not bringing you the joy. Maybe something as simple as going to get a cup of coffee. You go to this cafe that you really like, and you know the barista, and you say, "Hey John, what's going on?" And he says, "Hey," and he makes your coffee exactly the way that you want. And it always tastes delicious. That's a thing that maybe you do on a regular basis that brings you joy, that is enjoyable to you. But if you find that all of a sudden you're walking in and John's saying hi, and you're just not there, you're just not excited to see him anymore, or even the coffee itself just isn't tasting as yummy, that could be a sign that you're just a little too burned out. When burnout shows up, joy is usually the first thing that kind of starts to disappear. So are you just going through the motions of things? Are you not feeling that joy or experiencing the happiness or enjoying the things that used to bring you joy? You might want to take a moment and look at that. What is that meaning to you? If you are depressed, you really need to see a doctor. If you're usually on meds and they're not working well, maybe it's time to get those adjusted. But maybe you're just overdoing it. And it's your body's way of saying, "See, we don't like this, so we need to just settle down." It's funny how all these things happen and our body is literally telling us to shut down. When you shut down, you'll relax, you'll rest, you'll stop overdoing it, which means you'll stop the burnout. So listen to your body. Listen to what's going on. Ask yourself the questions. Is this real depression or am I just burned out? Once you find the answer, then you can fix it. The fourth sign that maybe shows that you're in a burnout is that rest doesn't feel restful. But think about it. If you normally get 8 hours of sleep at night, which I don't know anybody who gets 8 hours of sleep at night, but let's just say that you normally get 8 hours, and that helps you function from when you wake up until you go to bed at night. It's that simple. Well, if you've taken on too much, if you're working harder than you should be, if you're tackling too many things and you're burning out, those 8 hours, they're not enough anymore. So add that day in and day out. Add it for a week. Add it for a month. How long have you been taking on too much? Well, then you can see why one night's sleep isn't enough. Sometimes we need to really just shut down. And I know, okay, if you have bills to pay and a job, you can't just take days off. But we all have a day off, correct? Or I think we do anyways. If you don't have a day off, I get it. I was there at one point too, where I worked 7 days a week. But take the time, instead of cleaning the house when you have that when you have that time, and maybe don't clean the house. Quiet yourself down and relax. Again, if you're waking up after a complete night's sleep and you're still tired, it may be that you're burned out. If you are doing too much, slow down. Stop doing as many things as you can stop. I know sometimes it's easier said than done. And there may be some of you that says, Ellen, you have no idea what I'm going through. And exactly what you're going through? No, I don't. You're right. Because I'm here and you're there. However, I have been there. Or at least been at the point where I took on too much. When I did too much. And literally, I was burning myself out. It took my body to finally give up on me, to make me realize I needed to slow down. I don't want that for you. I don't want you to get to the point where your body shuts down. That's not beneficial for anyone. So what I'm saying is, take the time. Take the time to listen to your body. It's telling you what it needs. And if your body is telling you, hey, I need some rest, give it rest. Chores will always be there. And the fact that you didn't clean the floor this one day isn't going to make your whole house really messy. You can do it again another day. You are important. So listen to your body and help it with what it needs. And the fifth thing that may be happening that will show you you might be a little burned out is that you're going through your life, your days, running on autopilot. You're doing it, you're going throughout the day, you go to work, you come home, you show up, you do your chores, but are you really present? Are you focused on what's happening? Do you remember what happened 2 hours ago? If you stop to think about your commute to work, do you even remember it? When we can't remember those things, it means that our body was literally shutting off for a while. Our mind just went, nope. And yeah, you're running on autopilot. And sometimes that's a little scary. A lot of people do it. I know I've done it in the past. But you realize your body's literally trying to just calm down. Your body's just trying to make it easier on you. So if you find yourself, doing your things, but you're not really present, you're on autopilot, you're not really engaging, maybe take a moment and find out exactly what it is that's causing you to run on autopilot. Sometimes it's just that you have too many things to do and you're super, super focused, and that super focus turns into a blur of motions of what you're doing. Sometimes we're running away from the burdens that we have, the stress of life. Stress can cause burnout too. So it's one of those things. Are you just functioning? Are you just going through the motions? And if you are, maybe take a step back and just reassess. You want to be present in your life. You want to be able to experience everything to its fullest. So if you aren't really there, maybe it's time that you need to relax. Maybe it's time that you need to take a breath and calm down. Maybe take a nap. Maybe you just need to stop for a while so that you can just get better. We just went through 5 signs to show you you may actually be a little burnt out. Do any of those things feel familiar to you? Are you experiencing any of that right now? Maybe it's just time that instead of trying to work harder and push a little bit more, that maybe you take the time for yourself and quiet down and relax. Maybe take an extra nap. Maybe take a bubble bath. Maybe take out a book that you haven't read in a while and read a chapter or 2. Shut down. Close down a little. Let yourself relax and breathe. I don't want you in a burnout. It's not good for anybody, but it's especially not good for you. You need to take care of yourself. You are the most important person for you. If you know someone or have a friend who might be experiencing a burnout right now, or who you think might be doing too much and might be burning out, consider sending them this video. Talk to them. Let them know that you care. If this video reminded you to just take a breath for yourself, to calm down and maybe not do too much, well then please consider giving it a like, subscribe to the channel. If there's something you want to talk about, please put it in the comments. I'd love to hear from you. My name's Ellen. This is Ask Ellen, and I'll see you in the next one.